Today's idea will bring us so much clarity and so much relief because it is reminding us of a very deep and obvious truth that we sometimes forget. And that is, just because we or someone else has an interpretation that we have made in the mind based on a false premise, even if we ruminate on that false premise and we give it our energy, even if we think from there, even if we act from there, it does not make the false premise real. Only our energy invested in that false premise is the only reality that was given, but it's a very localized experience. It is not an attribute of like an ultimate reality. It was a false premise. And that on its own is so clarifying because there's so much confusion as to why we experience so much distress on this planet. And lesson 14 is addressing that confusion by saying, God did not create a meaningless world. So the first few lines are in essence saying that very thing. What the field of love and wisdom and kindness and balance did not create, what God did not create, it does not exist. But we may have had experiences in this physical realm out of just not knowing how to relate to these difficult sensations that arise. If we don't know how to relate to them, we're going to ruminate from there, and we're going to speak from there, and we're going to take actions from there. And everyone does that until we learn that there is another way. And that other way is the process of awakening to that deeper field of awareness that has the attributes that can meet these difficult sensations with kindness and compassion. But it's not because we're mustering some kind of magical new state. No, it's because we are connecting through our own practice to our deepest essence, which is the field of life that has the attributes that are capable of meeting difficulties with kindness and understanding and patience and compassion and love. So lesson 14 is saying what that greater field of consciousness did not create doesn't actually exist. And now we start to understand, oh, I can see that. We can now start to see examples in our own life where we might have insecurities that we're now willing to just take a pause on thinking and ruminating and acting from them, because now we have a greater tool to meet that insecurity with. Through our own direct practice, we are becoming more and more centered, more and more grounded, more and more rooted in unshakable self-trust, because once we tap into our root, our deepest essence, to draw what we thought the world was denying us, or what we thought was lacking from the world, or what we thought the world can take away from us. Once we are rooted in our deepest essence, that is the fountain that it doesn't stop giving us those attributes to meet any difficulty in life. Today's idea is another step in learning to let go of the thoughts, those fearful interpretations that we have written on the world, and see the Word of God in their place. Just because we acted from a fearful interpretation doesn't make that false premise true. So at an ultimate reality, what was false, and we are allowing truth to be written on what we interpreted as fearful before. The early steps in this exchange, which can truly be called salvation, can be quite difficult and even quite painful. Some of them will lead you directly into fear. You will not be left there. You will go far beyond it. And by now, we have this so clear. We can see why it is so difficult for any person to pause and hold their inner state of fear with kindness and compassion. We have seen it through our own direct experience. Kindness and compassion is not the default energy that arises when we experience fear, anger, frustration. Feelings like we're being taken advantage of, or we're not free, or something important is being taken away from me, or whatever it is that we are afraid that is happening. What comes up as a default response is more thoughts in alignment with that energy, more thoughts congruent with that energy that we could ruminate on and then speak from there and act from there. And through our own direct practice, we also now see that there is another way. And that other way is what we're doing. We're awakening to that greater field of life force that powers our lived experience, that energy that animates us has attributes that we're united with. Those attributes are things like love, kindness, compassion, joy, balance, peace, freedom, relaxation, freedom from worry. That is our deepest essence. That is why we're seeking these attributes out in the world. The world hasn't been denying us these attributes. It's just that the source of those attributes, the fountain that is non-ending, doesn't exist out there. It exists internally within us. And that is what we're doing as we pause to meet these difficult sensations with kindness and compassion. What we're doing is that we are practicing day after day, stepping back into our deepest essence, which is the only resource that can meet these difficulties with wisdom. So knowing that, we can trust that even if it is difficult to do the practice, we're not going to be left in that intermediate step of distress. And that is why this lesson is bringing us so much clarity and relief, because we're going to go far beyond it. We're going to continue to sit back and meet every moment of our life from our deepest essence, which is the source, the root, the fountain of the attributes that we thought the world was lacking, or that we thought we were lacking. No, we weren't lacking those attributes. We were just responding to these difficult energies from a habit pattern of survival. That's all that was happening, but we're now opening to awakening, which is the source that's going to provide us a solid foundation to meet every moment with wisdom and clarity and balance and a sense of well-being that is good for us and good for others. Our direction is towards perfect safety and perfect peace. So that is the entirety of the unfolding. That's actually, when I read the word direction, I'm like, no, that's actually an instruction. Like, our direction is towards perfect safety and perfect peace. Yes, that is the path that we're opening to. That's the direction we're going. But it is an instruction to remember, if I'm feeling distress, I am not sitting in my deepest sense of self. It's almost like an indicator in the car when the little car light turns red. The absence of perfect safety or the absence of perfect peace is that little indicator that it's saying you're running low in gas. It's like, oh, you're running low in connection with your deepest essence. So trusting all of that, we can now go into the most important part of the practice, which is to close our eyes and breathe and think of all of those difficult interpretations that we have made, all of the horrors that cross our mind, either from our lived experience or because we see it out in the world. And then we're going to trust that it's safe to deny its reality, because we have been able to see for ourselves that just because we took action from a false premise doesn't make that false premise true. And so the only way for us to unbind from lies, from what is unreal, is to recognize its unreality, to see it as false, to deny its reality, even if thus far we have been acting from it. It's kind of like that old GPS that we talked about. If we've been taking a left, every time we meet this experience, we're being asked to deny that reality. I don't have to take a left in this experience anymore. Even if taking a right turn is very scary, we're willing to open to the possibility that God did not create that fearful interpretation that we or someone else powered through belief and verbalized and took action and made decisions that impacted us or other people. And I know this is very delicate, and we treat it with a lot of delicacy and with a lot of care and a lot of being grounded in our deepest essence, trusting the unfolding. We're learning to become free from what was never real. So take all the time that you need and bring love to that personal repository of difficult interpretations, and bring love to the collective interpretations that our human brothers and sisters have made along with us. We're all in this together, and we're learning not to judge ourselves. Judgment is very common, and I have experienced a lot of it, and it has never helped me. So I continue to remind us that we let go of judgment as best we're able. We're simply going to practice becoming untangled from what was never real, and have clarity and relief that we are opening to perfect safety and perfect peace. It may not feel that way right now, but that's the path that we're on. So with this, we conclude the first 2 weeks of our journey inward, and we have covered so much in the last 2 weeks. Once again, thank you so much for your willingness to go inward. Feel free to join the weekly calls. We have a group, and you're welcome to join us. The link is in the description. Or leave me your comments with what is unfolding for you, or if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you next time for lesson 15. Thank you.